stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
All right, done sharing. Suddenly, I just don't feel like doing this. Weird. Let's do it anyway. Let's do it anyway. And considering I went live just a few hours ago, I don't really anticipate many people showing up for this. So, probably just going to go ahead and get started on it. I wish I could get some relief from my shoulder. What did Rolling Stones say? It's such a drag getting older. All right. I also didn't think that this topic would be all that popular. All right. So, number one, first thing here. You're going to have to be okay with the word no. You're going to have to be okay with verbiage like not yet. You're going to have to be okay with things like delayed gratification. And these are all skills that you're going to learn once you get into the program and start doing the work. And wasn't sure what I was going to really cover on this. It's just that I know I've gotten to a place in my life that I can usually work through most problems. So, in other words, I haven't come across a problem yet that required alcohol. Right? So my answer was no longer alcohol. And grab a fan here. And once we get rid of the alcohol, there's other things that we're going to need to do. And your recovery path is your recovery path. Okay. If there's one thing that we get to be selfish about, I need a back scratcher too. Sorry, guys. If there's going to be one thing that you're going to be selfish about, it's your recovery. Be selfish about your recovery. I am. It is the one thing that I'm selfish about. Why? Because if I'm not in recovery, I can't help anybody out. And that's my job. God said, hey, Dion, I put you through all this crap. You got through it. Good job. Now go help my kids. It really was that simple. And now I think the next phase in that is realizing that we can no longer blame other people for who we are. We have to sit down and say, I'm going to take responsibility for everything that I am. That includes my emotions. It includes my actions. It includes everything that I do, good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. And I do a lot of hard things, or what other people might consider hard. And they used to be tough for me in the beginning, but the more I practiced, the more I did it, the better I got at it, just like drumming. Okay? But I had to steep myself in the program. You know what steeping is? Steeping is when you take your tea bag and put it in the water. Let it sit in there and steep. Right? And recovery is a lot of the same way. And while it's steeping, what do you have to do? Well, you have to be patient, right? It's not going to be tea in a matter of seconds. It's going to take a few minutes, right? Then we're going to add some things to it. Maybe you like sugar in it, maybe a little bit of milk, some honey. Who knows, right? Make your recovery a little bit more flavorful. See, there's so many things in recovery that you can do that it doesn't matter what your passion is. We can find it in recovery. Not necessarily in the AA program, but in recovery. There's a lot of people that are in recovery out there. Recovery can mean a lot of different things too. So a lot of this is letting go. I would have to say the biggest thing that I did was letting go and letting God and getting my trust, my faith. Right? My faith in God has to be powerful. It has to be meaningful. Right? And God tells me things all day long. A lot of times the answer is no. Yeah, Gary, we were just talking about that. Sometimes I'll try and do something and walls keep coming up, and after 2, 3 times, I'm like, maybe God's trying to tell me no, but we can't take that personally. So that's why I brought that up in the beginning is, you have to be okay with the word no. It can actually be a good thing. No, I don't need to be involved with that. No, I don't need to speak my 2 cents on that. No, I cannot save the world from its clamors and everything going on. I can't. But what I can do is I can work on myself, become a better person, and be an example. Everything that I say on here, I do. Right? That's called being esteemable. So, there are very few things that there are a lot of things that are attached to addiction, like the mental health portion, right? So let's talk about that. Every single one of us have mental health problems. Right? My mental health problems weren't as big at 19, and if I would have dealt with them then, it may have turned out different. But I wasn't aware of them then. At that point, I had just accepted the fact of what had happened in my life. I didn't realize at the age of 45 it was going to blow up in my fucking face. I thought I had dealt with it, and I was wrong. I hadn't. I had only come to the agreement that it had happened. That was it. I didn't do anything about it. Right. Granted, we didn't know as much about PTSD 30 years ago. We know a lot more about it. There's a new thing out by Stella. They give you a shot in the back of the neck. It is not FDA approved, and I'm sorry, but any needle coming near my neck, I think is a big deal. So no. Nope. See, part of the problem of what we're going through, so we're going through this and we don't know what is happening. And that's why we need to reach out to other people. That's why you need to be in contact with other people. It's why you need to be accountable. It's why you need to go to meetings every day, the same meeting, so that people know who you are. Yeah, sometimes it's going to save your life. All right. In the beginning, I had to tell myself, no, Dion, you can't drink alcohol. And I'd have to remind myself, and I would tell myself no. And I hated me for it. But I did it. Because there was something I wanted more in this world than drinking. There was something I wanted more in this world. And that was to be, and out of everything, out of all of it, the number one thing would be to be a good husband. If it wasn't for my wife, I would not be here. If it weren't for certain police officers, I wouldn't be here. See, God was working in my life. It's just that He was carrying me through all the bullshit. Okay? And I deal with everything from depression to PTSD. You guys know. You guys know that. But let's say you didn't know. Would you know? No, you wouldn't. Because I have worked very, very hard on retraining my brain. And that's what you need to do. You need to retrain the membrane. In fact, that's a good topic. I have a fun one too. I'll write it down. Retrain the membrane. Retrain the membrane. Retrain the brain. So, the last time, towards the end of my drinking, I was told same things that a lot of people hear. Dion, you keep drinking, you're dead. I was this close to having, thankfully, your liver can come back. It can make it come back. All right. I was yellow. I was bloated. I was very bloated because I never ate. I never ate, but I drank a lot. A lot. I wouldn't eat for days. It interfered with my drinking. I didn't want the alcohol being soaked up by food. No. You're crazy? I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. Ask my wife. It sucked, man. It sucked. Why was that? Because I had been drunk for so long that I didn't know how to speak sober. I didn't know how to walk a straight line. It was blurry. My vision was pretty blurry for months because I was sweating all the time. I sweat for months. My withdrawal from alcohol, probably 6 months. And it hurt. It hurt. It physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually hurt to the core. And it is something I'm not willing to do ever again. So, all right. I got to go help with some housework here. So, that's what I was kind of doing, was eating up some time. So, all right, you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here. I love you. Peace out. And